is a News 10 special report, the Indiana primary. Now, John Swanner.
Welcome to News 10 First at 10 here on My Fox 10 on this primary election night. Hoosiers voted for federal, state, and local offices earlier today. Now, News 10 has team coverage as the results come into our newsroom.
Drown out all of the noise.
Ben Verbanek is following races for Indiana State Senate. Audrey Geib has spent the evening at the Vigo County Courthouse where the clerk's office is totaling the results. And Susan Dinkel is watching as results come in for Vigo County Sheriff and Vigo County Commissioners races. Some of tonight's races are making headlines nationally. This started last December when a handful of Indiana State senators rejected redrawing Indiana's congressional maps. President Trump endorsed challengers of those state senators who voted no on redistricting. News 10's Ben Verbanek joins us live from the newsroom with the results of our local state Senate races.
Thanks, John. We start tonight with the District 38 State Senate race covering parts of Clay, Vigo, and Sullivan County. Incumbent Republican Senator Greg Good faces two challengers, Alexandra Wilson and Vigo County Councilwoman Brenda Wilson. Brenda Wilson is running with an endorsement from President Trump. Results show Good won this race with 54% of the vote. Good will face Democrat Casey Blundell in the November election.
Drown out all of the noise, all of the drama, and to stay laser focused on the people who really matter, and that's the residents of this great district.
Farther south, State Senator Eric Bassler is not seeking re-election. 3 Republicans are in the primary for District 39, which covers Davies, Greene, Knox, Martin, most of Sullivan, and parts of Owen County. Former State Representative Jeff Ellington is running with President Trump's endorsement. He faces Tanner Boucher and Owen County Republican Chairwoman Christy Risk. Ellington is the winner in this race with 46% of the vote. Ellington will face Democrat Joseph Boffman in November.
First, I want to thank God. I want to thank the voters, and especially thanks to President Trump for their trust and their support for this election.
It includes areas from Park and Vermilion counties to West Lafayette. Incumbent Senator Spencer Deary is facing a challenge from Fountain County GOP Chairwoman Paula Copenhaver. Copenhaver is running with an endorsement from President Trump after Deary voted no on redistricting. Deary is currently ahead in this race with 51% of the vote. The winner of this race will face Democrat David Sanders this fall. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Ben Verbanek.
All right, thanks a lot, Ben. And staying at the State House, there are a few contested races for state representative. Let's start with District 45, which includes Greene, Sullivan, and parts of Davies, Knox, and Vigo counties. Republican incumbent Bruce Borders is facing a challenge from Knox County Commissioner Kelly Streeter. With 88% of the vote reporting, it is a close race with Streeter in the lead with 53% of the vote. The winner will run against Rebecca Mayfield in the general election. Incumbent Republican State Representative Bob Heaton is facing a challenge in District 46. Thomas Arthur is seeking election in this district, which includes parts of Owen and Clay, as well as Monroe and Vigo counties. The Associated Press is calling for Heaton as the winner, who will advance to the general election in November. He will face Democrat James Pittsford III, who ran unopposed. There will be a new state representative for the southern part of the Wabash Valley this fall. State Representative Shane Lindauer is not seeking re-election. He represents District 63, which covers Martin and parts of Davies, Du Bois, and Pike counties. On the Republican ticket, Du Bois County Clerk Amy Kippenbrock is facing off against Dr. Richard Moss, and at this hour, Kippenbrock is being called the winner in this race with 77% of the vote. 3 Democrats are in the primary for State Representative District 63. They include Tiffany Arthur, Anthony Bolin, and Adam Mann. And with 64% of the vote, the AP is calling Arthur to be the one to move on to the November election. Democrats across Southwest Indiana are also selecting a candidate to represent them in Congress. 4 Democrats are looking for their chance to represent Indiana's 8th Congressional District. With 84% reporting, Mary Allen is the projected winner in this race. She's earned 68% of the vote. Allen will face incumbent Republican Mark Messmer in the general election. Messmer is running unopposed in the Republican primary. Well, it's been a busy evening for county clerks across the state. There are several local races on the ballot in addition to those for the State House. News 10's Audrey Geib is at the Vigo County Courthouse where election workers are still busy tallying the results.
Good evening, John. I am out here at the Vigo County Courthouse where we have been all night as voting ballots have continued to roll in. We spoke to Leanna Moore, who says election officials finished counting ballots just after 9 p.m. The Meadows Voting Center was the last of the 17 centers to bring their ballots to the courthouse. She says that there were minor issues with people checking in to vote but deciding not to cast their ballots. She says despite this minor hiccup, this was a smooth election day. Back to you, John.
Thank you, Audrey. And there are several contested primary races in Vigo County this year. News 10's Susan Dinkle joins me in studio with results for the sheriff and county commissioner races.
Thank you so much, John. Well, let's dive right into the fairly crowded race for Vigo County Sheriff. 3 Democrats and 2 Republicans are running for this office. On the Democrat ticket, current Vigo County Sheriff Derek Fell is seeking a first full term in office. Fell won a caucus to become sheriff in 2024 after John Plassey's death. Larry Cheeks Jr. and David Ewing are challenging Fell. Derek Fell is your winner tonight with 49% of the vote.
I have to say this is truly a team victory. I've had an incredible group of supporters along the way with the campaign, with the community, members of the sheriff's office.
Vigo County Councilman Steve Ellis and former Vigo County Clerk Brad Newman are looking to be on the Republican ticket for sheriff. With 57% of the vote, Ellis is the front runner in this race. He'll advance to face Derek Fell in the general election this fall.
I'd like to say thank you to all the folks that supported me. I'd like to say thank you to my opponent who ran a clean race, and I'm looking forward to a clean race in the fall.
Now let's move over to the race for Vigo County Commissioner. It's the District 1 seat. Incumbent Republican Commissioner Mark Clinkenbeard is seeking a second term in office. He's facing a primary challenge from Jody Akimbo. With 75% of the vote, Clinkenbeard is the clear winner in this race.
Well, it feels good. It's been, we worked hard, and we thank everybody for their votes. And, we got another election coming up this fall, but we'll work just as hard for that.
Meanwhile, 3 Democrats are hoping to appear on the ballot for commissioner this November. Lynn Morales has claimed the top position with 57% of the vote. Back over to you, John.
Susie, well, staying in Vigo County, there are several races this evening for seats on the Vigo County Council. Let's start with Republicans in District 1. Incumbent David Thompson is seeking another term in office. He's facing a challenge by Johnny Norton, and results show Thompson is the winner in this race with 71% of the vote. Democrats Devin Allen and Kimberly Curley are hoping for a chance to pick up this seat on the council. With 66% of the vote, Curley will advance to the general election in the fall. Let's move to District 3. Council member Vicki Wager is seeking another term in office. She's facing 4 Democratic challengers this primary, but Wager fended them off with 38% of the vote, and she will face Tim Fears in November. Fears ran unopposed in the Republican primary. It's also a crowded field for the District 4 seat. This spot is currently held by Randy Gentry, who is not seeking a full term in office. Results show Dusty Havens will be advancing to the general election with 44% of the vote. 3 Democrats are running in District 4 as well, and results show Mark Minnick is the winner of the Democratic primary with 41% of the vote. Minnick will face Havens in November. Now let's turn our attention to other sheriff races in the Wabash Valley. Let's start in Knox County, where 4 Republicans are running to replace Sheriff Doug Vantlin, who is term limited after serving 8 consecutive years. Results show Dan Short will appear on the general election ballot this November with 41% of the vote tonight. Short will face Democrat Brian Hagan, who ran unopposed in the primary. Moving on to the sheriff's race in Martin County, Indiana. Current Sheriff Josh Green is not seeking re-election. Chief Deputy Keith Keller and Jonas Shaw are running on the Republican ticket. And results show Martin County voters selected Keith Keller to be their next sheriff. He won with 78% of the vote. There are no Democratic candidates running for sheriff in Martin County. A former sheriff is challenging the incumbent in Owen County. Owen County Sheriff Ryan White seeking a second term in office. He's being challenged by Republican Commissioner Sam Hobbs. Hobbs served as sheriff from 2015 through 2022. Indiana law states candidates cannot be elected more than 2 consecutive terms. With 72% of the vote, Sheriff White is the winner. No Democratic candidates are running for the sheriff office in Owen County. We're following one other sheriff race here in the Wabash Valley, and that's down in Sullivan County, Indiana. There are 3 Republicans running in the primary, and results show Justin Copeland will move on to the general election. He received 55% of the vote tonight. Copeland will challenge incumbent Sheriff Jason Bobbitt in the general election in November. Bobbitt ran unopposed on the Democratic ballot. News 10 is following the results of many other races across the Wabash Valley, and you can keep an eye on the bottom of your screen for the latest numbers. And they're also available anytime at WTHI-TV.com or on our news app. As we go to break, here are the results from county commissioner races from around the Wabash Valley.